Welcome back. Now, cancer is a collection of various diseases characterized by abnormal cell growth. The types of cancers that occur mostly in children are usually different from those seen in adults. Now, they're largely unnoticed in Africa, but childhood cancer is as deadly as the ones found in adults. Let's take a look at this.
Every child smiles when they are strong, but when they are weak, it becomes a different story entirely. Childhood cancer is a pain that steals the smiles of thousands of children every year. All over the world, over 175,000 children are diagnosed with cancer each year. About 12% of this figure die due to late detection. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, over 100,000 Nigerians are diagnosed with cancer annually. It is estimated that about 11.4% of this figure are children.
That people don't believe that children have cancer is one of the major problems we face.
I, for one, never knew that childhood cancer existed. For me, I thought Davian was one out of probably 1 million children.
I saw a swelling down part of his eyes. He was in pain that very day. So when my husband now brought, I've been hearing of cancer when one of our sisters in the church has cancer of the breast and she later gave up. And I was so this is how I'm going to lose my son.
Cancer can arise from the eye of the child. It can arise from the brain of a child. It can arise from the muscles. It can arise from the blood system, which is called leukemia. It can arise from the cell that we use to fight, which are the lymphocytes, and then we call them lymphoma. It can arise from the kidney of the child, and we call it nephroblastoma.
Every day, one child dies somewhere in Nigeria to childhood cancer. At the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, every week, a minimum of 4 children are diagnosed with cancer. Oftentimes, these children end up dead due to ignorance on the part of the parents. The other 1 or 2 children that manage to come back for admission oftentimes suffer a degeneration of their condition, and as a result, before treatment would commence or get to the point of achieving tangible results, the child is lost.
Most of the time, our patient presents late. They don't come on time. Sometimes they come on time, and you make a diagnosis, and they disbelieve, and they go to so many places.
We cannot close our eyes to the future of these children, most especially the ones whose parents have given up due to lack of funds and support system.
The parent will spend between 1 million to 1.5 million within 6 months to manage that child. Where you have health insurance does not cover cancer treatment. First and foremost, I think the government should go back to pick the cost of treating anyone who has cancer.
Cancer treatment is not what one person can deal with. We need government to help. We need institutions to help. My child is dead, I can't help her anymore. But there are lots of children that are still alive today that could be helped.
Government need to change policies. They need to pay attention how much is being put into the medical treatment for children. People need to know what people are going through and how to support and come in. So it's awareness, creating awareness, reaching a larger and wider audience, letting stakeholders know what is happening in our society, in our environment, and getting support so that survival rates can be increased.
Matilda Obiajua is the founder and the project director of the Davian Cancer Foundation, and she's joining us this morning to talk about a few things and how, of course, she battled childhood cancer with Davian, her young boy, who's alive today. And we're thankful to God. Thank you for joining us this morning to talk about some of these
Yomi.
issues. Now, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Obviously,
No,
that's
it's
why.
Childhood Cancer
Childhood
Awareness
Cancer
Month.
Awareness
Yeah,
Month.
that's why we're wearing
that's why we're wearing the ribbon.
Thank you.
Know, it's. I think it's very important that you're joining us this morning to talk about this, because lots of people don't understand, and they're not even aware of what's going on with children and with children with cancer. But some of the statistics that we saw in the package that we just watched shows that up to 11,000 children in a year,
11.4%.
yeah, 11.4%. Yeah, I mean that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And so, why do you think that the awareness about childhood cancer is so low, especially in Nigeria?
Well, personally, I think it's because somehow people don't actually. There's this denial. People have refused to accept that children can actually have cancer. And so that is why, like you saw, some parents, when they are told that their kids have cancer, they go away and they don't come back for treatment. And because of the denial, it's very difficult to keep statistics. If you go online, if you go to hospitals, you try to get statistics about children or the rate of children battling cancer, the statistics are not there. So because the statistics are not there, it's except people like us that are trying to champion this cause and trying to push it out there in people's faces that children actually battle cancer. Otherwise, I think that's one of the major reasons, the self-denial. So there is a need for people to understand what's happening and then join hands together to create awareness on this cause.
Well, help me us understand this. Why would a child be diagnosed with cancer and then the parent goes away and they don't come back for treatment? I'm trying to understand and figure out.
I think it's not just about the child. First of all, as an adult, if you're told that you have cancer, it's like the whole world is coming down. First of all, you want to believe that, no, it can't be. Some people keep asking this question, why me? Why does it have to be me? Why am I the one? No, it can't be me. What did I do wrong? I'm just like, for an adult. So now I'm a mother, and then you come and tell me that, I'm sorry, madam, your child has cancer. And first of all, if you don't know that children can have cancer, to you
probably will not
you wouldn't accept it. Like, okay, just yesterday I had a chat with, I got online with a doctor who first saw my son the very first time, and he suspected the boy had cancer, but he couldn't tell me. Now, yesterday I reached out to him and I was telling him, some years back, do you remember me, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, he's trying to remember. And I said, I had a son who came on admission, and you said you felt the boy should do a CT scan, but you couldn't mention it because of your superiors. And he said, yeah, because he noticed I was vocal and I was outspoken, and he was scared that if he had told me, I'll probably go angry and he might lose his job. Now, you see that fear there. So he felt he couldn't just tell me that, madam, I suspect this child has cancer. Now, that's fear there, you understand? So for me, I'm like, and I was thinking, okay, so if they had told me 2 years back, as at that time, he was just a houseman, a doctor doing the housemanship, and he had told me, I'm sorry, madam, I think your son has cancer. I'm thinking now, like 2 years back, would I have taken it well? Do you understand?
Yes.
So these are some of the denials of some parents. It depends on the way you tell them. Some people don't want to accept it. Some people just want to believe that it's some spiritual attack. I have a lot of people tell me that all the time, that you need to stop saying this thing. Children can have cancer. How can children have cancer? I mean, even adults, cancer is something from the pit of hell.
So, I mean, but your case was different. You came back for treatment. What was going on through your mind as you decided that, okay, you know what, I'm going to face this thing and I'm going to come out on top?
Now, at the time when he was first seen by that doctor, he was just having some symptoms. That was the first time he was falling ill in like almost 2 years of his age on earth. So at the time, we were moved from the hospital to another one. And then they misdiagnosed him. They said he was having intestinal obstruction. After a while, they said it was sepsis, but that lump was there. Now, where am I going to? At that time, after all the treatments, he started passing stool, he was doing well, and we're good to go home. On our own, we got back home and we realized that his stomach started distending. And for me, I was thinking it was just the reaction of all the antibiotics he had taken. But at a point, everybody was like, no, there's something wrong with this boy. So on our own, a doctor friend was like, I think you should go and do an ultrasound scan. So we went to do an ultrasound scan, and the guy who was doing the scan was like, I can't find his left kidney. And I'm like, no, the kidney has to be there. Check very well. I'm sure there's a problem somewhere. But at the end, he said, I can only see a mass. I think you should go and do a CT scan or an IV. So we opted to do a CT scan because I was faster. Now, on our own, we went to do CT scan. We went to pick up the results, myself and my husband. And when I saw the result, the word was so huge. I've never had that word in my life before, nephroblastoma. So I and my husband just went on Google, thank God for Google, and it was there. A type of cancer that affects children between the ages of 1 and 5. Now, this wasn't a doctor telling me what the result was. Something that you... This was what I was seeing for myself now, you understand? So at that point in time, I realized that this was bigger than I thought. You know, I wasn't crying, but tears was just rolling down my eyes. I was just in the car, and my husband was, you could see the shock. You could see, we're not talking, but you could see that unknown fear. Yes. It was there. For me then, I had realized there was something I needed to fight. And something you needed to deal with immediately. I needed to deal with. So, of course, you went and yeah, so we just said to ourselves that if he had been misdiagnosed twice in a renowned hospital, we had lost hope in the system, so we wanted to take him out. So we decided, okay, we're just going to stay focused and try to raise funds to take him out of the country. Because at that time now, he was already in stage 4. Now, if at the time when the doctor suspected and he had drawn our attention to it, despite the fears he had, he was probably in stage 1 at about then. And so time had already passed? Time had lapsed. I mean, this was within 1 month, and from stage 1, he had moved to stage 4. So how's Davian doing now? Davian is doing great, bless God. Davian is actually a miracle. I've had a lot of doctors tell me all the time that Davian is a miracle because the awareness is not there, like you said, and that is why I felt that there was something that needed to be done. You understand? Because if, as at the time, if I knew what I know now, I keep saying it, my son won't get to stage 4. Now, getting to stage 4, I've seen children in this past that just in stage 2 and stage 3 and they don't make it. So at the time, because I didn't tell you that at that time, we needed to fly him out and we didn't have the funds. So we had to, one particular day, I just saw my son peeing blood in his diapers and nobody told me to go on social media and ask for help. Now, a lot of Nigerians reached out. I had people sending 100 naira. I had people sending 1,000 naira for Davian. So for me, I knew these people were people that I probably didn't have, and they wanted to support this boy. So after the whole journey and everything, I said to myself, if there's one thing I'm going to do to give back is to create awareness. Because I'm sure a lot of kids have gone and parents don't even know what took them. Because you just see the signs and probably you go to the wrong places, you're misdiagnosed, and before you have the child is gone. You never really know what the case was. You never really know what the case was, you understand? So there's a need to create awareness. Everybody knows. If you see those symptoms that look like, there's a probability that this, because for crying out loud, he's always so obvious. There was a lump to the side of his stomach, and that is a major sign. And the doctors kind of, you know, overlooked it, you understand? And I say he's a miracle because I don't know how he did it. It was just God, you know. So was this a reason you started the Davian Children's Cancer Foundation? Yes. Tell us about some of the work that you have done in the short time that you started the organization. Okay, we're in September now. The foundation is just about a year and some months old. But so far, we've been able to support at least 15 families at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. And we've created events around awareness. Like we have this event we have every Children's Day. It's called the Children's Day Awareness March. For us, Children's Day is supposed to be a day of fun for children. It's supposed to be a day where children are supposed to be happy, have fun and all of that. But you see that our little soldiers are tied down to their hospital beds. They don't even know what it's like to have fun. So they're on their hospital beds receiving chemotherapy or one treatment or the other, and they don't know what it's like to celebrate Children's Day. So for us, we go to celebrate Children's Day with them a day before Children's Day, which is 26th. Then on Children's Day 27, have children from different schools march on the streets of Lagos to raise awareness for them. All right, Matilda, now this is Children's Cancer Awareness Month. Yeah. What are the things that people should be aware of, especially parents of young children, during this month? Okay, for us, in September, everybody all over the world was saying go gold. And that's why you have your gold ribbon. So when people see you on a day like this and you're like, Yomi, why are you putting on a gold ribbon? And you're like, you didn't know September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So you create awareness, and people say if you need to start educating people on what childhood cancer is. Now, you need to know the signs, the symptoms. I say I'm not a doctor, but so far I've been able to read so much on it, and I always tell every mother out there, you need to get yourself read, get enlightened. What are the symptoms? A lump in any side of the body, on the neck, on the stomach, a recurrent fever that is always coming up every other time. You treat it, it comes back, you treat it, it comes back. It keeps coming back. You need to go and check what the problem is. What's the blood count like? You understand? Is there a squint in the eye like you saw on the documentary? That's probably cancer of the eye. All those things are signs that when you see them, you shouldn't overlook them. And I tell people, if you see those signs, you go to the hospital and they just keep giving you the wrong treatment, you need to get a second opinion. It's very important.
Wow. Thank you so much, Matilda, for joining us this morning. And of course, keep doing the work that you're doing and supporting the families that you're supporting. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So Mike is on standby to bring us some funny videos, because of course we know that things sometimes can be sad, but we also want to make sure that we lift your spirits this morning as well.
All right, welcome back. We're here to lighten up the mood. Of course, it's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Let's get some funny videos we have here, which we gleaned from around the internet. Let's lighten up the mood, all right? Take a look at them.
Is that what? I did! Babe, come again. What did you say? Okay, I'll talk to you. I love you. Oh, okay!
I did wake up, wake my mom. I did wake up. Wake up. I did. What? What? I don't want to walk like that. Come on, dog. If they come, you stand. If they run, come, you stand. As I was saying, this level is a... They're like coming to me. I don't know.
Yeah, so you love to go to dinner with me? Yeah, I know I've got a bit of an accent. Yes, I can pick you up in Hanha. Oops. In Hanha. In Hanha. In Ha.
Papa, Mama, which one should I do?
White is good.
I prefer that one.
This one. Yeah. Thank you, Mama.
Where do you think you're going to?
Papa, the birthday party I told you about.
If I look you 2 times, you ain't
Papa, come on, go and read your Bible, useless culprit. So I was at the bus stop. Next thing I know, he snatched my wallet. I was about to start shouting, thief, thief. 3 heavy slaps landed on my face. I didn't see anything for the next 30 minutes except stars. Can you describe the stars? It will be very helpful in our investigation.
Lord, our landlord will not find us.
Amen.
Father Lord, you will receive full job.
Amen.
Whoever is owing us will pay.
Amen.
And whoever that has stolen money from me, fall down and die. I say fall down and die. Fall down and die. I didn't waste my money. You have been stealing money from me.
Come. Have you buttered the tomato?
Hey, what's that? Papa, you don't see it.
See what?
You don't feel it now.
My friend, don't joke with me. I said, have you buttered the tomato?
Who was your English teacher?
All right, I would like to know what Mionsi buttered for breakfast this morning, but then Mary might just want to tell me. Mary, Mionsi, what did you guys butter this morning for breakfast?
Well, the good part is there was nothing to, I almost said there was nothing to butt. Anyway, there was nothing to buy. So far, so good. Chef Mionsi has cut up the sweet potatoes and is cooking them right now. We're still busy trying to put everything together. For now, let me let Chef Mionsi tell us exactly what it's going to do next.
Yes, so we've started cooking the sweet potatoes, and basically once it's 5 minutes into the cooking process, okay, we bring out the water, take out the water, and begin to crisp it up. Okay. We crisp the sweet potatoes here, and the sausages, the onions, and the bell peppers. They cook together. Okay. And once that is cooked, we set that aside and we make our sunny side up.
Okay. Okay, yes. So that's basically all we're going to be doing?
Yes, that's basically what we're doing.
You mentioned earlier that we can use Irish potatoes.
Yes.
This wouldn't have been necessary were it to be Irish potatoes, right?
Well, you could actually cook it, just a little bit of cooking, you know, because you don't want it to taste like it's not done inside. So you just need to cook it a little, just probably like 5 minutes also. Then you crisp it up also indeed. So when you cut things in smaller pieces, they cook faster. Okay. So 5 minutes is fine. Once you cut in smaller pieces, cook it and you crisp it up and yeah.
For 5 minutes for Irish potato?
Yes, 5 minutes for sweet potatoes too. You could even make this like 3 minutes. I think even sweet potatoes cook faster than Irish potatoes.
Okay. All right. So what else will we be cutting right now?
We'll be cutting the tomatoes.
Okay.
So basically what we're doing with the tomatoes is we're cutting them into half.
Just half?
Yes, just halves.
Really now? Why?
Yeah. Basically because we're just going to pan-sear it a little, just brown it, the outside parts. It's, you know when you go for, when you have your full English breakfast, you see some small tomatoes by the side. Is either grilled or is seared or something like that. So yes, we are just going to add a little bit of salt and black pepper on it and just put it on a hot pan.
Just like that?
Yes, just like that. So we serve it, it's like a side to the ash browns and the sunny side up.
So we are simply going to let this get brown little with black pepper
and salt. No, we just add a little bit of salt and black pepper to it. Yeah. So just a little.
This chef thing always smile.
Salt B. You know. So
we all need some salt in our lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, nothing too difficult. You just make simple things look difficult to you when you're cooking. And it's like, wow, like really, this, and you be like, yes, I'm putting in a lot of effort. Come on, you have to appreciate the effort I'm putting into it.
Okay, so the onions. I want to see how
the onions is going to go into the sweet potatoes and basically. How
are we going to cut this?
You cut it into thin slices.
Thin slices.
Yes.
Something similar to this.
Yes. Thin slices. And some people that do not like onions, sometimes some people don't like onions in their food. So basically, you could you could exclude the onions, but I'm going to be adding onions to it. Do you eat onions?
Yeah, of course. Onions are delicious.
I have a cousin that does not eat onions. You have to either grate it or you use onion powder.
Can you add garlic to it?
No. Don't do garlic. No, do not do garlic. Just add onions to it.
Okay. Yeah. Was there a particular reason you shouldn't add garlic?
You know, you're trying to achieve a purpose. You're trying to achieve something. So sometimes there are some ingredients that are not necessary. Even if you think they might go together, you know, it's unnecessary.
It just takes it away from what we're trying to achieve.
It's really unnecessary. So you do not necessarily need garlic in this potato hash, you know.
Well, so far so good. We are preparing sweet potato hash and sunny side up, and the ingredients are so basic, they're easy to get. We have sweet potato, sausages, green pepper, onions, tomatoes, lettuce and eggs, and this is supposed to serve about 2-3 people.
Yes,
I prefer to say 2.
Yes, because there are 2 eggs.
Because there are 2 eggs.
And you're excluded. It's just Titi and
That's fine. That's fine. I'm used to you saying that. That's completely fine.
It's just Titi and Yomi today.
Okay, so right now we have our sweet potato boiling.
Yes, it is.
The chef says that when the sweet potato is ready, we're going to be searing it a little in the pan. Yeah. To get the right flavor, the right taste, the right.
Yes, to crisp it up, basically. So it's really not yet there.
There's salt in that, I believe.
Yes, there is salt in it. So
but for those who don't like salt, it's possible to do away with the salt, right? It doesn't matter, does it?
Yes, you could do away with salt. You could just add a bit of it into it, you know.
The salt has its purpose in this right now.
So basically, we cook with salt most of the time because without salt, you can't actually. Salt is like your seasoning. We do not use seasoning cubes and all. But you could, since you do not eat salt, that means you are used to it. So when they cook without salt for you, it's not tasteless.
Yes.
So you can relate with it. But with someone that likes their food well seasoned, you know, you shouldn't exclude salt in their food.
So it's been about 3 minutes already.
3
Are we going
minutes.
to start sponsoring, or you still want to boil a little more?
It's still not there. Like I said, we could always give time to this, but if you've not achieved what you want, you can't go further.
How can you tell you've achieved it?
Once you poke it, it's you know it's a little soft, like, but right now it's too tough.
Okay.
Yes, it's still very tough. So, you know, it's not where you want it to be. Because if you cook it right now, you end up serving undone sweet potato hash.
Sweet potatoes can be very tricky. One minute they're soft, the next minute
they're
like, what happened?
Very soft, you know. Yes, that's why I said they cook faster than
Irish potatoes.
Okay. You can actually tell, like, okay, Irish potato will cook within 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
You know, but this, you know, they're very tricky. But you have to always go along with it. Keep checking it, constantly checking it.
If you're just tuning in, you haven't missed much. We are having sweet potato hash and sunny side up. I went through the ingredients earlier. We have the sausages.
Yes.
This was cut up by Chef Miyonse alongside the green pepper.
Yes.
And of course, lettuce, onions, 2 eggs because we're serving 2, and of course, tomatoes and potatoes. So far, so good. We've had this cut up and we are boiling the potatoes. What's next is just the searing, and then we use this to garnish, right?
Yes, this is a garnish. It's just like a side, you know. But sometimes these garnishes they complement. That's why you do not serve garnishes without it complementing what you're putting out there.
Okay.
So this is also a garnish. This is also a garnish, but it is part of the meal.
It's just to add color.
Yes. Not just to add color, you can actually eat it.
No, you know, sometimes I think some things are so plastic, they're just there for decorations.
Well, in cooking, yes, I used to think like that, you know, but there's everything on the plate, they have their purpose there, you know. Every single thing has a purpose.
Okay, every single thing has a purpose, and everything on Wake Up Nigeria has a purpose, like cooking. We'll go on a break now. There is more to come. Stay with us. Wake Up Nigeria!